What's up, everybody? It is your boy Dwight, aka Tyree, aka that nigga. Nah, just kidding. It's your boy, and I'm back with an all new episode of Let's Chat About It. Today we have a few things to talk about. We're gonna get into some family drama with Kirk and Rasheeda. It sounds like Love and Hip Hop has turned into a crime show or a crime documentary instead of a reality show. We also gonna get on Yandy and Mendeecees. Sounds like Yandy was emotionally cheating. So we're gonna get more into that. Cardi B dropped a new song along with visuals. We're gonna get into Joseline Cabaret, third episode that I just finished watching right before I started filming this. And lastly, we're gonna get into a new song by Kehlani and Cameron and wait, is it Cuban or? That's the whole point of the argument. But we're gonna get into Cameron and Omar Gooding's little beef as well. Alright guys, so I hope that you got your snacks ready because we got some things we gotta get into today. First things first, let's start off with the cheating allegations between Yandy and Mendeecees. So I saw a clip of Love and Hip Hop. Like I told you guys before, I do not watch Love and Hip Hop anymore, but you know, I see the clips online sometimes just like everybody else. So every now and then I'll give a little review or give my opinion on my thoughts of the episode. Or the scene rather. So in this scene that I saw, Yandy admits that she emotionally cheated on Mendeecees. So the only question I have is, what is emotionally cheating? You know, so I guess maybe in my opinion, I'm assuming that maybe she confided in this man, also had lustful feelings and attraction towards him, but never acted on it. So that's what I'm assuming happened. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I believe it's complete BS. I think that Yandy and Mendeecees need a storyline right now. I'm not going to even lie to you. I feel like it's been revealed numerous times that Love and Hip Hop is scripted. I don't believe it's 100% scripted, but I think it's at least 80% scripted. And I think that Mendeecees and Yandy are looking for a storyline at this point. First, we had the whole, it was me that was texting him, wipe your tears, honey. And now we got this situation. It's just always something. I don't know. I honestly believe that this is kind of a storyline that they're looking for. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Do you think that Yandy and Mendeecees are looking for a storyline? It also came out that the guy that she allegedly had this emotional affair with was upset that she brought it to television. So yeah, let me know how you guys feel about that. And I want to know your definition of emotionally cheating. And do you think emotionally cheating is something that should be handled the same way as physically cheating? Is emotionally cheating worse or not as bad as physically actually cheating on somebody? Let me know what y'all think. But let's move along, guys. Next, I want to talk about Cameron and Omar Gooding's beef. So apparently Cameron and Omar Gooding have a beef because Omar got offended because Cameron referred to him as Omar Gooding Jr. So if you guys know, Cuban Gooding Jr. is Omar Gooding's brother. So in my opinion, I think that Cameron got mixed up, simply, and that's it. I'm not gonna lie, I get mixed up too. I get them mixed, like the names. I know who's who by the face, but the names, I can easily get mixed up. So he got offended, and he got in the booth to handle that, and he did a few diss tracks, allegedly. I didn't hear the diss tracks, but apparently he did some diss tracks, and I didn't even know he could rap. I didn't know he could rap. I didn't know that. I didn't see that episode of Smart Guy when he was rapping. But, you know, to each his own. Express yourself how you can. You know, maybe I should have listened to the record. It might have been good, but I wasn't interested in hearing him rap. But the unks are beefing, y'all. So Cameron decided to be petty, and he flew this man out for a movie role that did not exist. I believe he said he flew him out to Miami and paid him $7,500, and the movie role did not exist. So what do you guys think? Do you think that prank was like a win for Cameron, or do you think for, almost like Cuban, don't come at me, but do you think that Omar was, is that a W for Omar because he got $7,500 Either way, he got paid. It was a fake gig, but it was like, listen, he didn't have to do much. He got his money. But in a way, I'm like, Cameron's funny because I would be petty like that, but I would have paid him no $7,500. Like, paying your ops is crazy. Like, I respect it maybe because I'm not rich, but I don't see me paying my ops no kind of money. Not more than $2 because they're $2 hoes. All right, moving right along. Next, we have Rasheeda and Kirks' son. Y'all, make sure you have your snacks for this because this is crazy. Rasheeda and Kirks' son has been accused of murder. When I first heard this, I was just like, what the hell is going on? Rasheeda and Kirk cannot catch a break, bro. Last week I was talking about K. Michelle singing her this little record from that scene. Now I know they probably was trying to, Rasheeda probably was focused on that to distract from what her son was going through. But it's crazy that her son is being accused of murder because their daughter, Rasheeda and Kirk's daughter, was allegedly in an abusive relationship. I believe her name is Kelsey Frost. And it was a graphic video. I saw it on Twitter, and he was like fighting her in a bedroom. And from what I'm hearing, allegedly, she contacted her brothers for help, and I guess things escalated. I'm not sure how he died of a fatal shooting, and his name was T Hood. He was a rapper. But yeah, it started as a domestic abuse allegedly, and then I believe allegedly she made a phone call, and then things got handled and he got shot. And it's a real sticky situation because I feel like if somebody's abusing your family member, especially if you're a man and you have a female family member that's getting abused, your natural reaction is going to be to protect them. So in a way, I'm like, and when I saw that video, I'm like, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I'm not gonna say it's right, but I don't feel bad. I'm not gonna say he's right for killing him if he killed him, but I'm not sitting here feeling bad that he died either. I'm like, okay, you know, you didn't feel bad when you was whooping her ass, now you can't whoop nobody's ass no more. Well, that was me. That was too much. But I'm just being honest because it's like, you hurting somebody else, and it's not right. He should not have killed this man. You know, nobody has the right to kill nobody, but I don't feel bad. Like, I'm not sitting like, oh, it doesn't make me sad. If that's the case and if that's the reasoning. But like I said, there's videos of the situation, so I'm really believing that that's what happened. It sounds like that's what happened, because why else would he kill you? You know, why else, if he killed him, why else would he kill him? But we don't know for sure if Kai killed this man, T Hood, with that corny ass name, but it sounds like there's a chance that he might have. I really hope that if he did, that there's something that he get some kind of deal, because it's like, he's pretty young, and for him to spend a majority of his life in jail because he protected his sister, it's like, it's really like, it would really suck. He's 24 years old, so it's like, he's right in the middle of his 20s, and for him to go to jail now, it would really take a big chunk of his life, and it's like, damn, you know, the situation and the reason, and I understand why he would react that way if that's what happened. But I guess we'll see. As time progresses, you know, I'll keep you guys updated, and we'll get more into that. All right, y'all, moving forward, I next would like to talk about with you guys, Joseline Cabaret. So I just finished watching the new episode 3. I didn't do a review for you guys on episode 2, but all I'm going to say is Joseline was like on episode 2, she kept sending people back to the bus and saying that she don't like everybody. And my thing is, like, if you got these girls here and you don't like them, what's the point? So I feel like maybe she's trying to get more of a, like, I feel like if she keeps certain people on the show, it makes people more into it because you know who the characters are. So maybe she's bringing people back for ratings, because it's like, you know, nobody likes Danny and Andrea, you know, but people like Isis, people like Lexi, people like Lexi. Egypt could fight. I don't know if people like Egypt, but she could fight. So there's people that bring entertainment Miss Natural. Some people like her. So I feel like familiar faces is kind of what's keeping people more interested, while at the same time she's bringing in new people to spice it up and change it so it's not redundant at the same time. But it's kind of weird because it's like she curses these girls out so bad. I'm like, I would have laughed like, who you talking to? Who you talking to, Joseline? Y'all better jump her. Like, Joseline can't beat everybody else. She can fight. Don't get it twisted, but she gotta respect some people. She don't show no kind of respect. But let's get into episode 3 because that's what I just watched and that's what's fresh on my brain. At the end of episode 2, though, T Love basically confronts. Chinks confronts T Love, and she confronts her about spitting on her in the previous scene. So she's like, yo, like, you spit on me, like, I wanna fight you, like, why did you, like, you spit on me, right? Something like that, she said. And T Love was like, like, yeah, I did. I was like, oh, okay. So then they started fighting, and honestly, I thought Chinks was gonna straight up whoop T Love because from what I remember, T Love did not have the squabbles like that. She did not have the hands. Because when she got it in with Wet Wet last season, Wet Wet like did some Chun-Li thing and kicked her, like, and she like swung around the pole and she was beating her up, and Wet Wet is not a fighter. So I'm like, oh, she gonna fight Chinks? But I'm not gonna hold y'all. I think that T Love might took a self-defense class or something because she kept up. She kind of won, honestly, against Chinks. But I was surprised because when they split it up, she had like a scratch on her face and she was bleeding. So I'm like, okay, maybe she didn't really, I don't know. She kind of looked like she won, but she left with a battle wound and Chinks didn't have a battle wound. So I guess it was kind of like neck and neck. But I was dying because I feel like they have all these nicknames for her. Like Chinks was talking about her in the confessional afterwards and called her Little Bill. And I was just like, oh shoot, she kind of does look like Little Bill. Moving along, we have another scene where Joseline is talking about like the girls and like she's saying like she's actually talking with Lemmy, who is the CEO, and they're having a conversation. Lemmy, I don't know what's going on. The first thing I'm hearing is that he got this raspy voice going on. I don't know why he's talking like this, but he did say at the end that he lost his voice. I'm like, okay, felt like I don't know if he was entering a new era and trying something new with his voice, but I guess he lost his voice. You know, working at Zeus, I lose my voice too. Everybody yelling and arguing, and I know their asses do not listen. So they was just talking, and Joseline was throwing her comments, and she was like, "These girls don't even have a dentist. Why would I be jealous of them? Why? You know, Joseline sometimes like to play victim. You know, they treat me so rude, and I give them these opportunities. Why would I be jealous of them? They hating on me and blah 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 blah." You know, she gonna pop her junk. But one thing I like about Joseline is her confidence. Ain't nobody, no matter what nobody says about Joseline, Joseline loves herself. Joseline knows she's talented. Joseline knows what she deserves. And I respect that. But moving along, we see Erica Mena join the scene. And she talks about how John Doe, which is one of the new girls, ripped her pants. John Doe, I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of hot. Because she picked her up and she did something, but I was like, oh shit, okay. I'm like, all right, have me feeling like Joseline when she be like, I was like, oh. But she picked her up and she like was groping on her and like her dress, like Erica's dress ripped. And it's so funny because John Doe is not a big girl, so she's strong though. So she picked her up and kind of like did some freaky thing with her. But anyways, Erica's dress was ripped. And her whole booty was out. Lemmy looked so uncomfortable when she was like showing them the rip. Joseline's just looking like, what the hell? Like, why this girl got some ripped ass dress? I feel like Joseline in her head was like, why is her dress ripping? Like, why is her dress able to rip? Like, she was judging her at that moment. But Lemmy looked like he felt awkward because you know Scotty is not about to do that. And Scotty's not a fighter, but neither is Erica, so she might fight her. But yeah, she looked bad awkward. Anyways, I don't understand because later on Joseline talks about, I guess, T Love having a fight and she calls her a dirty ass Q-tip. And I'm just like, do you like T Love? Because I'm not gonna lie, I feel like she does not like T Love and T Love doesn't know. She's like, I think T Love thinks they're cool because she calls her a dirty ass Q-tip. I would have been mad as hell. In my opinion, I don't think she likes T Love like that. But T Love likes her, so Joseline gonna entertain it. But So moving on, I don't know what's going on there outside at the pool. And I don't know, that new girl, Joseline, just like, yeah, don't do that again, or something like that. I'm like, what the fuck? The girl's like, I didn't do anything. So they're outside, and Joseline gets offended because the new girl is talking to Isis. I forgot the new girl's name. But she's talking to Isis, and Joseline's like, don't do that. And then she's like, the girl's like, what are you talking about? I'm not doing anything. But I guess because Joseline was ready for them to settle down because she had something to say, and she kept talking to Isis. So she's like, yeah, don't do that, don't play with me, don't let this girl get you in trouble, pointing at Isis. So Isis is not scared of her. She's like, yo, Joseline, what you talking about? Like, she's popping it right back to Joseline. And I was like, thank you, that's what I like, because I'm like, everybody can't be scared. Some of y'all gotta talk back. Some of y'all gotta talk back, because there's no way she's gonna punk all of y'all. Like, come on now. Some of y'all gotta talk back. At least a little bit. Everybody can't be Danny and Andrea. She needs some people that's gonna challenge her, So, but Isis, she did not seem scared. She did not seem scared at all. And honestly, that's what I like about her. Moving on, Gypsy and Erica Mena get into it. And that was crazy because I'm like, what is this, a crossover episode? It was given like Sweet Life, That's So Raven episode with Hannah Montana. I forgot that episode. Or the Jimmy Neutron when they go to Fairly Odd Parents. I didn't watch Erica Mena's show, but I saw the clips, so I kind of had an idea of what they were talking about. But basically, Gypsy was on Erica Mena's Love Show. If you guys don't know, Erica Mena had a love show on Zeus. And it was like a Tila Tequila kind of vibe, if you remember that, if you old enough. Tila Tequila had a love show with men and women. It was like a flavor of love, but with both sexes. So that's what Erica Mena did. And basically, she eliminated Gypsy on that show. And later on found out that Gypsy did sleep with one of the contestants. And she was pressing her about it, like, you slept with this person, this, that, and the third. And the Gypsy's like, well, you didn't want me, so I feel like it shouldn't matter. I agree with Gypsy. You didn't want me. You turned me down, you kicked me off the show, so if I decide to be intimate with somebody else, why does that matter? Like, I'm grown. She's grown, and you now her shorty, so it's like, if she wants to mess with somebody, even if they're on the show, why does it matter? You didn't pick her or the person she messed with. So, you mad at her for what? So she basically was trying to like argue with the girl, and then I did notice she was like kind of putting her hands in Gypsy's face. But then she did mention like, that Gypsy is a good mother to her son and this and that, and Gypsy was bent like 2 elbows. So when she heard her son, I feel like that was a sensitive topic for her. So when she heard that, she kind of like, I could tell she was about to crash out. And she was chill, and then out of nowhere, she throws a drink and like runs up on Erica. Erica was blowing my mind because, girl, fight back. She's over here like, fight back, because you have so much to say, fight back. But Gypsy got her, but they didn't really get her. I think Erica's lip was bleeding though, but she didn't really get her for real. Like, she probably got like 1 or 2 hits. But Erica like cannot fight to me, even when she used to be on Love and Hip Hop. She's over here like this, and I'm like, you saying all this to the girl, putting your hand in her face, doing all that, and you don't got the squabbles at least a little bit. But moving on, everybody thought they could jump in. Des jumped in and beat her up, and I felt like Des kind of, in a way, Des did mention that her and Erica were friends outside of the show. But in a way, I do feel like Des was like, let me jump in, because last episode, the episode before, Joseline was acting like she didn't care about her, she didn't like her, she don't really want her there. So I felt like she was like, okay, this is my opportunity kind of to make Joseline not as mad at me. That's what I think. So Des jumped in, did her thing on Gypsy. Then, some time passed and Des jumped on her again. Also, another thing that was funny was I noticed that Isis was talking to Andrea and Oceans, and she's like, yeah, beat her up, referring to Gypsy. And why Andrea weak self gonna go and really run up on her? I really wanted Gypsy to get her. I don't think nobody really won that in my opinion. Andrea kind of was on top at one point, but I don't feel like anyone really won that fight. I really wanted Gypsy to get her though. Like, I really wanted her. Like, Des, okay, cool, because I actually like Des, but I was like, Andrea, do not let Andrea beat you up, because that girl cannot fight. So, moving on, it just seems like everybody wants a piece of Gypsy. We got Egypt jumping in, and I was scared because Egypt could fight, but security kind of stopped it. Neek was trying to get in there. I was just like, y'all are doing too much for me, because I feel like after Des and Andrea for her, why are the rest of y'all trying to fight her to get her out the house? Like, she already lost to Des, and her and Andrea kind of was like a tie. So it's like, is there a need to continue to fight it? Like, come on. But honestly, y'all, that was pretty much the whole episode. Basically, they spent the time outside fighting for Erica Mena. Erica Mena popping in like she got the squabbles and she doesn't. So that was pretty much the episode. Next episode, we finally get to see the girls go into the house. And it seems like, I believe Ocean's going to get into it with the new girl. And some more people, I saw Miss Natural's going to get into it with T Love. And Joseline instigated it, talking about, oh, she downstairs right now, smoking. And then next scene, you see them fighting. I'm like, Joseline, you messy too. You messy as hell too. She knew what she was doing, but I don't know who's gonna win that. I think my vote is for Miss Natural against T Love. Y'all tell me who y'all think is gonna win. Comment below who you think is gonna win, Miss Natural or T Love. But my vote is for Miss Natural because she got the hands. T Love has been stepping it up this season with her fights though. She has been stepping it up, and I believe Danny and Isis are gonna fight. Danny, I don't know, she's doing the opposite. I feel like T Love is doing better with her fights, and Danny's going down. Like Danny, I don't know. I don't think she's going to keep up with Isis, but I guess we should see. Isis better win that. But that's all I'm going to talk about when it comes to Joseline's Cabaret. Next week, I will give y'all a little review on episode 4. I'm going to try to keep the reviews for Joseline's Cabaret coming through, because like I said, I actually really like that show. Moving on. Let's get into some music, y'all. Cardi B has dropped a single from her upcoming album, Am I the Drama? The single is called Imaginary Players. And if you are a real hip hop fan, and if you're from Brooklyn like myself, you know that this is a remake of Jay-Z's song Imaginary Players. So I'm gonna be honest, y'all, about my review. When I first came in, I didn't know what to expect, because I do like this song, and I'm not gonna lie, there wasn't nobody to really touch it because it's a classic. But the video, I watched it. It was very nice. The video was fire. I did talk about it in a short, I believe on Friday. I watched it in the morning, but I was like, let me just talk about it a little more on here, get a little more into detail about my opinion on it. But it was a very nice video. I love that the video reflected the song. I feel like the song was talking about being a player, being fly, being hot, being the hottest rapper in the game, just being that nigga, and for her, that girl. So I feel like she just had the plane and the style, the fashion, what she was talking about. And I really like that. I'm like, oh, this is giving elegance, this is giving fly, this is giving like hottest in the game, this is giving like what it's supposed to give. And that's what I like. As for the song itself, honestly, I like the song, but I didn't love it. I feel like it's tough for me. I feel like I'm a hard critic because, like I said, this is a classic song, so I feel like if you're going to get on a classic, I feel like you have to go at least equal, if not harder, than the original, because everyone's going to compare it to the original. So for me, I feel like I like this. She has some good bars on there, but I would say I would give it, without the visuals, and when I first watched it with the visuals, I liked it a little more. When I heard it in my headphones, I liked it a little less, honestly. So I would say I would give it like a 6.57, lyrically alone. She did have Jay-Z's flow throughout the song, but even though I did rate it that, I do feel like she has some good bars in the song. But I just feel like at the end, I feel like the beat, she was trying to keep up with the beat towards the end. I feel like in the beginning she was doing good, but I feel like towards the end it was like, alright, she's trying to the beat is fighting her, and the beat can fight. And I'm not trying to say she's losing the fight, but the beat and her is going neck and neck. But I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I think she was throwing a little shade, cause I listened more after. That's what I like, cause I feel like if you gonna come on this song, you need to throw shade. That sounds crazy, but like Kanye said, if you ain't popping, ish, then what you rap for? So I feel like, in my opinion, let me know what y'all think. I did another listen and all that stuff, and I actually watched other people's reviews. And in my opinion, I feel like she was throwing shade at Ice Spice, because she had a line in JT I don't know if it was any Nicki shade in there. I feel like there was some parts where she was throwing shade. There is a line in the song where she says, now your 15 is up, you're already out of time, I'm a legend, they're gonna hang my heels from the power lines. I feel like that was about Ice Spice. So Ice Spice has a song on her album from last year, I believe, called BB Bell. And in BB Bell, she talks about like how she's the next bitch up and how she took the girl's homegirl's spot as the princess of rap. After Ice Spice came out with that song, last year, Cardi B said, you bitches lost your mother effing minds. I'll come up for every one of y'all hoes on my album. And then this came out, she said that. Let me find the line where she said, where Ice Spice threw the shade. So in that line she said, this one bitch is built like an ant, crash outs, and she be going on rants. Because we all know Cardi B be going on rants online. She goes up, her officers having their issues, she'll be on live yelling this and that. She's shaped like an ant. And there's another line in one of her songs where she talks about taking the spot and how she's like, you know, the next girl up. They both Dominican, they both from the Bronx. So I do feel like there's some subtle shade going in there. And maybe some possible Nicki shade in Imaginary Place as well. And then I believe there's JT shade because JT and her had gotten into it on Twitter before and they have thrown shade about, I feel like about fashion. They both beef with each other about. So I feel like that's what she's supposed to do because Imaginary Place, Jay-Z's kind of talking his junk about rappers too. And about being the hottest dude. So I feel like she did good in that. But yes, I feel like the delivery could have been better in certain parts, but overall I do feel like it was a good record. It wasn't my favorite Cardi B song, but it wasn't my least favorite Cardi B song either. But let me know what y'all think, because I know when I posted the same short on my TikTok, and people in my comments were saying that they think I was giving Cardi B too much grace. Some of y'all said I'm being biased because I'm from Bed-Stuy. I said if anything, I don't think I'm being biased. People think I'm being biased as in liking it because it's a Jay-Z song. But if anything, I feel like I'm the opposite. Since it's a Jay-Z song, I feel like I'm a little more of a harsh critic. If you're gonna get on the Jay-Z beat, I'm gonna like really critique it more. I feel like rather than just saying it's good because it's a Jay-Z beat. That's what I think, in my opinion, about myself. But yeah, some of y'all thought I was being too generous, but it wasn't a bad record. It just wasn't her best record in my opinion. But it wasn't a bad record overall. Moving on, there's also another song that came out. I'm not gonna lie, this song might have came out a few weeks ago, but I just got on it. It's called Folded by Kehlani. That was a really good song. I listened to it a few times today, and I really like it because it's like a nice R&B chill vibe. Like, you know, it is like a breakup song. I feel like it's more of a wintertime song. In my opinion, I feel like breakups and stuff, I don't know. Certain R&B songs just give winter vibes, but that one gives a winter vibe to me. She's talking about like, come pick up your clothes, I already have it folded, get the fuck out. But in other words, she says it in a nice way though. You would think it's a love song until you listen to the lyrics. And you're like, oh wait, she's telling the person to leave. It's a breakup song. But I think you guys should check that out. You know, I'm gonna give Folded Song of the Week this week. I hope you guys got to check out that Tupac song, Better Days, that I gave Song of the Week last week. And you know, that's about it. That's about it for the tea, for what's going on this week. I gave y'all a review of some new music in Joseline Cabaret. I hope you guys tune in next week, and we're going to get to some more things. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Share, tell a friend to tell a friend. And if you don't agree with something I commented on, let me know. Let me know your opinion. But watch your mouth. Alright, y'all. See you later. Peace.